What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Leizel. First things first, yes, I did cut my hair just the other day. Do I regret it? Maybe. So what had happened was I wanted to get a little bit of a trim, like kind of just off my shoulders type of thing, and I walked out looking like this. But in saying that, I do think that it's kind of cute, and I just know myself, my hair grows really quickly, so give me a month and I guarantee it's going to be like on my shoulders again. But anyways, today I am coming to you guys with a first impressions video. This is actually going to be a full face of first impressions drugstore edition. I don't think I've ever done one of these on my channel before, or I just can't remember if I have. But yeah, I'm going to be testing out a bunch of drugstore makeup products. This is them right here. I have them in this box, and there is a lot to test out, so I'm excited to do that for you guys. As you can see, I've already done the look, everything is all done, and this is how everything turned out, and I'm excited to let you guys know what I think of each product. So yeah, these are all drugstore products that I have not tried before. Some of them are new, some of them are not so new, but a lot of them are actually recommendations. I kind of did my research and had a look at like what's popular at the moment and what people are kind of into, so I kind of wanted to try things that people are loving that I haven't tried and kind of see whether I like them myself. So if you guys enjoy these kinds of videos and want to see what I think, then keep on watching, and if you do enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, like it before you leave it, and if you're new, you know what to do. Join the crew by hitting the little red subscribe button down below. And with that being said, let's get into it. So first things first, as you can see, I have a freshly cleansed and moisturized base. However, I do need to prime. So I'm going to be going in with this one from NYX. This is their Bear With Me Primer Set Refresh Multitasking Spray. I believe this is some type of like all-in-one type of spray, because as it says, it primes, it sets, and it refreshes. And it also mentions that it is sensitive skin friendly and provides up to 8 hours of hydration. But anyways, let me try and... oh. Okay, that mists very differently. I wasn't expecting it to mist like that, but let me just go ahead and spray this on my face. Okay, I like how that misted. It was like kind of continuous, but obviously not continuous because you're constantly pressing down on the nozzle, but it has like a scent to it. I don't know how to describe the scent. It's like, I don't know. I really don't know how to describe the scent. If you guys have used this, let me know what you think of it. But yeah, I like how that felt applying it to my skin. So we're gonna be trying out the Covergirl Matte Made True Blend foundation. Hopefully this matches me, but the color that I have here is M10 Golden Natural, and it says that it is a comfort matte finish with an oil-free formula, and it has a pump applicator. So what I'm going to do is just pump this onto the back of my hand. Oh, that's actually quite thick, isn't it? As you guys can see, it's not like sliding down my hand or anything, so it is quite a thicker formula. Yeah, as you can see, it's a thicker formula. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of dot this. We'll start with one side of my face to begin with. You guys, the texture that I have going on my skin right now is no joke. I know for a fact that it doesn't look like it on camera, but yeah, we're trying to fix some things here. Anyways, I'm just going to buff that into the skin. Does this color match me? I hope it does. Okay, first impressions. For a thicker formula, I thought that it would kind of blend into the skin differently. I don't know, I was kind of expecting like more of like a thicker application, but I feel like I'm definitely going to need to go in with another pump. In terms of color, I think that color matches me. I don't know, I'm just gonna have to go in with another layer. Let's try stippling it and see what happens. You know what's weird as well? Thing about this foundation that I'm noticing is that there's like these really teeny tiny little white dots on my skin, and I don't know what it is. I don't know what's up with that, but I mean, in terms of the finish, like from what I can see, it looks pretty good. Like, it's just that the little white dots, you can't see it on camera. I know you guys can't see it on camera, but it's like these really teeny tiny little white dots on my skin. It almost looks like dust. I don't know for sure any dust. I don't know what these dots are, but we're just gonna keep going with it. But as you can see, that is one side done. So one side with the foundation, the other side without. I'm liking how it's looking. However, I do feel like I want to go in with just a little bit extra in the areas where I need more coverage, especially in my T-zone where I'm kind of having a lot more like redness and texture at the moment. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my face and kind of build it up. I do feel like it is a buildable foundation, that's for sure, but the little white dots are very strange. I don't know what those things are. Alrighty, so that's the foundation. I really like the finish. I feel like even though it is described as being a matte foundation, it doesn't look like my face is completely matte dry, if you guys know what I mean. Yeah, it's actually really nice. The only thing is that the little white dots, I don't know what those things are or if they're gonna stay there or like disappear. But in terms of the finish and the color, I really like how it looks on my skin. Onto concealer now. I have these ones from L'Oreal to test out today. These are their Infallible More Than Concealer concealers. And these ones I have heard are very comparable to the Tarte Shape Tape concealers, which is why I wanted to test that out for myself. And first impressions, like packaging wise, the way that it feels, like the size, everything literally feels like I'm holding on to a Tarte Shape Tape concealer. But I did pick up two different shades. If I can find the shade names, oh, they're on the top. Okay, Cashmere and Latte. Cashmere is definitely lighter than Latte, but I think today I'm going to try out Latte first and kind of, I mean Cashmere, I'm getting the names mixed up. But yeah, now that I've like opened it up and I can see the applicator, it literally looks exactly the same as the Tarte Shape Tape concealer. Hopefully the shade isn't going to be too light for me, but yeah, as you can see, just applied it as I usually would, and I'm just going to go in with this brush. It's like a concealer buffing brush, and just go ahead and blend that into my skin. I do like how it's blending into the skin, and it does seem like it is full coverage. Like it honestly, if you put this into the Tarte Shape Tape packaging, I probably couldn't tell the difference, because consistency wise and like the way that it's blending and applying and the coverage that it's giving me, it really does feel like that of a higher end concealer. And oh my goodness, I like how that looks. I really do. Do you see this? Like it looks really nice. I am shocked. This is probably gonna be like my new favorite drugstore concealer. Oh my goodness. I'm just going to put some on my lids as well, whatever's left on the brush, just to kind of brighten that area up. I actually do have naturally really dark lids. It's so funny because whenever I FaceTime with Alan, he's like, do you have eyeshadow on? And bear in mind, I don't typically wear makeup half the time when I'm at home. So he'll be like, do you have eyeshadow? And I'm like, no, that's just the darkness around my eyes, plus like a bit of freckles on one side. So yeah, I like to go in with a bit of concealer and kind of cover that up, I guess. I'm going to go ahead and set that concealer in place now, and for that I'm going to be using this Revolution Bake and Blot pressed powder in Banana Light. Now I typically don't use anything except for my Australis Ready Set Go finishing powder. You guys who watch me regularly know this, but this one kind of caught my attention because it's a banana powder, but it's pressed, which is so much easier because I just don't generally like dealing with powders that are loose, especially when it comes to setting the under eye area. Wow, I really like how that's setting everything in place. That's nice. I'm also just going to go ahead and set the other areas where I applied that concealer because I do want to brighten the face up a little bit as well. Alright, so I feel like that's done a pretty good job. Like it looks pretty decent. I feel like for my texture, it hasn't really enhanced it. You know how sometimes if you have texture on your skin, applying a powder over top just makes it stick out that much more. But I feel like with this, it's kind of smoothed everything down. So I like this. As for the rest of my face, I'm going to go in with this Maybelline Fit Me Loose finishing powder. This is in number 20 light medium. This has been out for a while, but no, I have not tried it. However, I do know that this is very popular among the beauty community, and a lot of people have like talked about it, raved about it, recommended it, so I kind of wanted to see what the hype was about. From what I can see, has a lot of color to it, and I don't know if it's going to be too dark, but the next color up did look like it was just not going to be my color. So let's just get some of that out. I'm just going to quickly dust that over all the other areas that I have applied foundation. I feel like doing so is taking away those little white dots that I got from the liquid foundation, which is good. I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell how well a like setting powder is performing if you're applying it like over foundations and whatnot. Yeah, I feel like I don't have too much to say about this as a first impression because it's kind of hard to tell what I'm like looking for when I'm applying it to set a foundation in place, you know? But moving on to, I think we're going to try and finish the rest of the face later, and we're going to quickly jump to the eyes. So for the eyes, I decided to pick up this palette from Revolution, and no, I have not tried any of the Revolution eyeshadow palettes before. These are super inexpensive. Like I think full price, this is like $8. I was like, excuse me? So I just decided to pick up like their typical neutrals kind of palette. I don't even know what kind of look we're going to go for today, but I just kind of wanted to pick this up to test out like the formula. So this is the Velvet Rose palette. So let's begin with this shadow right here. Just quickly off the bat, it is very pigmented. Like as I just dip my brush in there, a lot of kickback, so I do have to tap up the excess, but just running that through my crease. I like this color. I think I'm just gonna go for like a typical bronzy gold smoky eye today. Keep it easy, you know? But wow, for $8, like the way that that just applies, and it's not chalky, it doesn't seem dusty. It just, I'm actually really impressed right now. I can't believe this is only $8. I mean, they have other palettes that were like $25. I think that was like the max that I saw for like their collaborative palettes that they have, that they do in collaboration with influencers. But for $8 for like a basics, like I feel like this is a very like typical, you could use this for an everyday look, a more formal look, any type of look. Like I feel like this is a pretty good all-around neutral palette. So for $8, I mean, wow, okay, Revolution. I'm gonna try deepen that crease up a little more, and we're going to go in with this shadow right here. I'm just going to run this through my crease as well, just to add a little more depth to it. Yeah, wow, that shadow, I really like how that looks. Okay, so for the all over lid shade, how do we want to go with this? Do I want to go crazy and go with the intense gold shade? Oh wow, okay, maybe we will try that. I feel like I want to spray my brush with a little bit of that spray that I had from earlier because it's looking pretty chunky. Wow, okay, that's intense. I feel like I should have gone in, okay, yeah, I feel like this is more of an eyeshadow topper, not so much like an eyeshadow that you would go in with like off the bat like I did. So what I'm gonna do, switch it up real quick. I'm just going to go in with this shadow down the bottom here, kind of try and fix up this mess because I feel like it's looking too chunky on my lids right now. So let's just go in with this shadow first, and then we can go in with the crazy intense one over top afterwards because yeah, probably got a little bit too excited there. Honestly, I'm feeling like you don't need to go buy like the expensive higher end palettes because this for $8, wow. So next up, for the outer corner of my eyes, I think we're going to go in with this like more matte, like chocolate brown shade. I'm just going to take this and blend it into those other colors, starting from the outer corner. I also just wanted to say as well, when it comes to blending, I totally feel like there's no issues with that. Like the shadows aren't skipping, the shadows are not like chalky, they're not having any difficulty when it comes to blending. Everything blends really, really nicely, which I like. So yeah, I'm just gonna go back in with like my other blending brush and kind of just blend through. So those are the shadows on the lids done. As you can see, I'm just quickly running the matching crease shadows down onto my lower lash line as well, just to tie everything together. But yeah, first impressions of this palette, I don't know if all Revolution eyeshadows are like this, but it blended really nicely. The color payoff is amazing for being an eyeshadow palette that's only $8. Like you, I mean, not to say this in a bad way, but like from what I can say with like drugstore products and the way that they're stepping their game up, I totally feel like, yeah, Why do we pay so much for high-end products when we can get drugstore products that are just as good quality? Right, so eyeshadow is done. I don't actually have a like drugstore mascara to try. So I'm just gonna go in with my regular mascara. So moving back onto the face now, I'm going to go in with another Revolution product, this time their bronzer. This is the Mega Bronzer in 02 Warm. And yeah, this is a pretty warm looking bronzer, but this is actually the only one that they had left. So I was like, you know what? I guess I can make this work. So we're just gonna go in with a brush and just kind of, oh, super pigmented. I feel like their products, as soon as you tap the brush in there, a lot of product always comes up straight away, so that's interesting. But let's see how this bronzer goes on my skin. Put some around the hairline. Yeah, super pigmented. Warm bronzers are typically what I go for because I do have like warm toned, like a warm undertone to my skin. So I typically go in with that type of bronzer anyway. Let me just try contour my nose with this as well. I'm only gonna go in with like the teeniest bit of product because I really don't want it to be too intense. First impressions on the bronzer, like I said, pretty intense. Like a lot of product comes out when you pick it up with the brush, but I mean, I like how it looks on my skin. I feel like it complements my skin tone really nicely. So I think this was like $10. And I feel like there's a lot of product in here, like it's a huge pan. So for only $10 and for what it gives, I feel like it is worth trying out. Now moving on to blush, I do have yet another Revolution blush product to try, and I picked up their blush Hot Spice palette. So as you can see, it comes with 8 pans of different colored blushes. They all look pretty similar in tone, but I think today I want to go in with this one up the top here. So I'm just going to pick that up on my brush again. Oh my gosh, like I barely even tapped my brush in there, and there's a lot of product. Just applying this to the apples of my cheeks and bringing it back. I like how that looks. Probably went a little bit too intense on this side, so once again gonna go in and kind of blend it in a little bit. Onto one of my favorite parts now, which is highlight. I have this one here from Revlon. This is their Skin Lights highlight in Daybreak Glimmer. And first of all, let's just take a moment to have a look how that looks in the pan. I always just love looking at how highlighters look in the pan because they look so like luxurious. So before I dip into this with my brush, let me give it a swatch. Did you see that right there? Ooh, that's pretty. I feel like this reminds me, like the way that this looks reminds me of a dragon. Like dragon scales. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just tap that on the high points of my cheeks. Do we see it? And then also above my brows. First impressions, I do like it. I feel like it's not like intense skin glistening, dripping with glow like a lot of highlighters are these days. Also, I'm going to take a little bit actually and just put it on the inner corners of my eyes. Oh yeah, you can really see how intense it is there, but it's not like chunky. It's really fine. I have to say that I do like this. I feel like it's not too intense, but you can build it up to be super bright, as you can see in the inner corners of my eyes. But as like a face highlight, I feel like it's really pretty. Onto the lips now. I do have, as you can see, a fair few lip products to try out. However, I don't have like a specific lipstick, liquid lipstick, that kind of thing. These are all basically glosses, but they look pretty intensely pigmented to me. So let's start off with liners. I have here the shades Soft Spoken and then Cold Brew, I think this is called. Yeah, Cold Brew. So out of the two, I think for this particular look, I'm gonna go in with Cold Brew. I feel like it's kind of pulling like terracotta. Yeah, as opposed to being brown, it looks more like reddish. I think you guys know which one I'm going to go for. This one right here. It's a lip gloss, but it has a lot of pigment. Like, this isn't sheer at all. It's called Sheer Brilliant, but it's not sheer. Girl, that looks crazy. Let's go over the top with this shade right here, Piece of Cake. See if we can like lighten it up a little bit. Alright, so that is a lip color done. I'd have to say, with those lip glosses, yes, they are described as being sheer. However, they're sheer, but there is a lot of pigment to them, which I think would be nice to layer over top of a lipstick or some type of like liquid lipstick. However, just on bare lips like I've done today, I feel like it looks a little bit off. But in saying that, I do like the formula. It's not too sticky. The pigmentation is nice, but like I said, I feel like it's more of a lip gloss that you would layer over top of other lip products. Last but not least, I do have a setting spray to try. This is the NYX Matte Finish Fini Matte Long Lasting Setting Spray. Now this was actually one that I saw was really popular. So let's just go ahead and spray that on my face to finish off the look. I'm just going to give it a quick fan, make sure that it's all nice and dry. But in terms of spraying it, I don't feel like it has any scent, and it felt really nice like spraying it onto my skin. However, the thing that I used in the beginning, the Bear With Me Prime Set Refresh Spray, I guess you could use this as a setting spray as well. But yeah, I think we're pretty much done here, you guys. So there we have it, you guys. This is the completed look. I want you to comment down below and let me know what you think. In terms of how I feel about it, I feel like everything feels really nice and comfortable on my skin, particularly the foundation. Even though it is a full coverage matte foundation, I don't feel like it is like sucking the life out of my skin like some foundations do when they are a matte finish. So that is good, and I feel like everything kind of blended together and went together really cohesively. So I actually really like how this look turned out. But yeah, like I said, comment down below and let me know what you think, and also let me know if these are products that you have tried or if any of them are your favorites. If you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, like it before you leave it, and if you're still here at the end watching and you are not yet subscribed to my channel, you may as well hit the little red button down below before you go so you don't miss any more videos that I post. As always, I'm going to leave a full list of everything that I used in this video down in the description box if you guys missed anything, as well as all the links to my social media accounts if you guys want to keep up with me on any of those. And with that being said, I hope you guys are having an awesome week. I will talk to you in the comments, and I'll see you all in my next video.